Great state of Iowa, and we check in with Professor Jeff Stein to discuss such things. Some positive, some not so positive, but they all make up our history, and that's why it's important for you to learn these important stories. So good morning, Professor. What specifically are we talking about today?
Well, good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Lou. I have the utmost respect for law enforcement. I would never be able to do the kind of job that they do, and sometimes that literally means paying the ultimate sacrifice, and that is the story for today. Waterloo police officers Wayne Rice and Michael Hoeing were working the overnight shift. They responded to a call of loud music coming from a house, and those involved turned down the music when the police asked, so the officers returned to their car. Everything seemed fine. But then 4 of the individuals at the house started yelling and cursing at the officers. Rice and Hoeing returned to the house. They placed one person under arrest for disturbing the peace. He then started fighting with Officer Hoeing. Another one of these partygoers tackled Officer Rice. The two struggled on the ground. The officer even got hit in the head with a chair, all in the front yard of the house. Then came James Taylor. He had been recently released from a federal prison in Missouri. He joined the fight, punching Rice with his fist and then removing the officer's gun from its holster. Taylor fired 2 shots into Officer Rice's chest. Not satisfied with that, he moved to where Officer Hoeing was involved in the first fight and shot and killed him as well. Taylor then left the scene, leading to a manhunt featuring helicopters searching from the air and officers from a number of law enforcement agencies searching from the ground. 4 days later, 2 women ran into Taylor on a farm near LaPorte City. It was at the same time as one of the funerals was being held for one of the officers. When the word came on the radio that they might have Taylor surrounded, the officers streamed out of the funeral to join the search. Armed with shotguns, they went into the farm fields near LaPorte City. Iowa State Patrol Sergeant Marvin Messerschmidt saw crops moving and then chased Taylor through a soybean field. Taylor tripped and fell and was then captured and drug out of the field. He was convicted of double murder and sentenced to life in prison. His life ended when he died in the year 2014 at the age of 60. Ironically, James Taylor died just a few weeks after the state trooper who captured him also died of natural causes. It was the largest manhunt in Iowa history. A lot of people around this area scared at that time because it went on for a period of days, and it led to the capture of James T-Bone Taylor after he killed 2 Waterloo police officers in the early morning hours of this date back in 1981. And again, if there is ever anything that inspires law enforcement to do an extra specially good job, it is when one of their own has been attacked. And there's another aspect to this story. Yet another officer was killed in an auto accident responding to a thought that Taylor was found in between.
That's right.
So the carnage continued at so many levels in this amazing story.
Yeah, and we've seen that response here as well, unfortunately, when something like that happens. But again, we just want to give our utmost respect to all of our first responders and the hard work that they have to do on a regular basis.
You know, we always talk about some things that are very uplifting, but there's some things like this that we have to remember, because it's important to remember things like this do happen.
Absolutely right. And again, as I said, it was one of the largest manhunt in state history. And folks might remember that alone because, again, you've got a double murder of police officers and the person's on the loose. It led people to really double check the locks on their doors for a few days until he was actually captured.
Absolutely. If people want to remember this story or pay homage to the lives lost or first responders like we try to on a regular basis, where can they go for those details?
We have repeated this story, Jackie, at iowaalmanac.com. All the stories we talk about every day are there, iowaalmanac.com, and on the Twitter machine and Instagram as well, at Iowa Almanac.
There you go. Well, thank you, sir. We'll try to stay cool for the next 12 to 18 hours, and hopefully things will cool down in your neck of the woods, too, and then we'll talk to you bright and early Monday morning.
I'm just going to stay in a radio studio for hours on end today because the air conditioning is working very well. I might even do double duty.
Okay, and speaking of double duty, tell everybody what double duty you are going to be doing today, because something has happened here since we last talked to you yesterday, and you're going to be like a big deal later on today, aren't you?
And Professor, we just want to hear you say duty.
Tell everybody how big a deal you're going to be later today.
Oh, I am a huge deal. Yeah, that's it. Because having me on the air statewide 2 hours a day isn't enough punishment. We're going to inflict this on all of America.
Yes.
One of my good friends, Todd Starnes, has a national program on the Fox News radio network, and he has asked me to fill in again. I did this last month and had a great time. Can do it right because of technology. Can do it from my air-conditioned studio in Waterloo. So I will be hosting on Fox News Radio from 11 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon. And if you're so inclined, you can go to foxnewsradio.com and hear all of the merriment, all of the extravaganza.
Do you know what you're talking about?
We are actually going to be focusing a lot on the president's visit to the UK because that's contemporary in the news today.
Yep.
We're going to spend a lot of time talking about the testimony of the FBI agent before Congress yesterday. And one of my guests is going to be Ernie Goss, the Creighton University economist, to try to inform America about our rural economy and how important we here in flyover country happen to be to all of them.
Wow.
All right.
Digging right in. All right. Well, listen for that 11 o'clock this afternoon.
Jeff Stein, Coast to Coast.
I love it.
How about that? That is perfect.
That's a great name, isn't it? The coast to coast part. The guy's name, it's not very important.
Hey, well, we appreciate you giving us a few minutes of your time every morning at this time. So thank you, Jeff, and looking forward to hearing more of you this afternoon.
Yeah, I'm a big deal. I'm not sure I'll be here Monday.
If you'll have us Monday. So before we let you go, so you just got done doing your thing with us. You've already been working this morning on the radio station there in Waterloo. You did your thing with us. You have the other deal starting here in about 2 hours, okay? And then that goes till 2. And then do you have another radio gig after that?
Yeah, then I'll do my afternoon. I'll be on the network from 11 till 2.
Okay.
And then I've got a 3-minute turnaround before I do the local program. From 2 until 4. I've got Congressman Blum coming in from Washington, D.C. via the hookup. So I'm just going to take a week's worth of work because I've been slacking all week. I'm just going to pour it all into one day.
That's what happens when you go to a golf course. Yeah, you have to make up for it. Get some OT going on there.
All right, Jeff, have a great afternoon.
Take it easy, guys. Thanks a lot.
Busy guy.